Okay, g'day all. Race preview time. Very big weekend of sport. We've got both the AFL and the NRL Grand Finals, the Cox Plate tomorrow as well. And the main race in Sydney is worth $1 million. It's the Bondi Stakes for the 3-year-olds over the mile. I've got Mark Rhoden with me to go through it. How you going, Mark?
Yeah, very well indeed, Mark. Thanks for having me on again.
No problems. We are, as I said, we are a huge weekend of sport. We couldn't miss this one. It's
No, this really is the jewel in the crown on the Australian sporting calendar this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 3-year-olds, set weights at 1,600 metres, and as we always say, doesn't matter which horses are racing, they all pay the same. So we'll have a look at it and see if we can work something out. Have you had a look at the speed map? Any thoughts yet?
Yep. Only 9 horses now going around with Thermosphere out. Funnily enough, I was looking at the race conditions the other day when I was starting the form, and they've got a field limit of 18 and 4 emergencies, which sounds a bit optimistic. You know, they put $1 million up and the 9. So that field limit was never threatened, but here we are. We've got 9 of them going around for the $1 million. Peltzer, I think he does his best work when he gets control, and that's what they're going to try and do again. Eliza Beale strangely settled back last time, but up to the mile and from barrier 2, I'm sure they'll be a lot closer in the run on her. May even press on, but I think they'll just find their position behind Peltzer. Street Dancer ran his best race up on the speed in the Bondi Stakes 2 starts ago, so I'm sure he'll go forward. Prime Star sat back in the Stan Fox, the lead up, but no real reason to get that far back. Acrophobic poking up. Stolman is too slow. Namazu just awkwardly drawn. So coming off a nice win at Canterbury where it sort of rounded them up from last, which doesn't often happen at Canterbury, but I just don't know where he ends up tomorrow. But the connections of the favourite, Peltzer, will be trying to lead and get control of the race like they did last time.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, we'll just have a look at TopSport's market. So they've got Peltzer $2.40 favourite from Prime Star at $3.60, Acrophobic $4.80, Eliza Beale $6.50, and then from there it's out to the rest. I think Namazu $15 leads the rest. Have you got Peltzer favourite, and what sort of price are you looking at?
I do, but $2.40 is a bit short for me. I think the market will be a little bit against him if he goes up that short tomorrow.
Still 120%. So there'll
there's room to move. I just think, he won the lead up in good enough style, the Stan Fox at 1,500. It's the same setup. He gets control again. It's hard not to have him favourite, but he didn't give the impression he's crying out for 1,600 that day, and his margin over Prime Star and Acrophobic wasn't great either. So there's only so short you can get him, in my view. I've got him closer to $3.
Yep.
I'd probably, if he went for a big bath and was out to 320, 330 or something, I'd probably want to chime in then, because he's going to go the pace and get every chance. It's just a pricing issue. I can see why the market's keeping him so tight, but it's just I couldn't recommend backing him at that price, put it that way.
Fair enough. As I said, Prime Star $3.60 from Acrophobic $4.80 and Eliza Beale $6.50. So how's the top of the market look from your point of view?
Well, we've got Prime Star and Acrophobic coming through the Stan Fox alongside Peltzer, who's too far behind him. Prime Star was up pretty sharply in distance, having his first go in this sort of middle distance range last time, and closed up quite well. It was ridden very quiet and closed off well. Certainly taking ground off Peltzer in the straight. As I said, when looking at the map, I expect him to be a bit closer here, and he's got to be a chance. He was only half a length or within half a length of Peltzer last time. There can't be too much between them if he brings that form. Acrophobic was right with them too. Joe McDonald rode in that day. He's down in Melbourne this week, so Nash hops on. So obviously losing nothing there. My only slight concern with him, he was reasonably firm in the market. He started about $9 last time, and he's finished very close to them. But that performance was a fair bit better than anything he'd shown before. He had a bit of a base of performances to go to a new level. He threatened to do something like that once he got over a bit of ground, I suppose. But just whether he can back it up twice in a row is the little question, I suppose. Eliza Bill brings a bit of different form. It's the interesting runner. Very good win at Hawkesbury over 1,100 metres, 2 starts back.
Yep.
Then got too far back last Saturday behind Forbidden Love and was very unlucky. Anyway, just couldn't get a run at the top of the straight. Really should have won last week. She's out of a Zabeel mare, so I'm expecting the 1,600 to be probably a plus, even though it's her first try at the trip. And as we showed on the map, if she's ridden with any sort of intent, she could get a very soft run here. And I could easily see her winning. Again, it's just a pricing thing. I'm just not different enough from the market here. I've got her about 550, so 650 is getting there. But seeing I have a sort of second, third, sort of in that second tier with Prime Star and Acrophobic, it's not a massive edge 650 for me. But I think she's a really good chance. And look, of the 4 main chances at this stage, she's the best value. It's just whether it's enough value to pull the trigger and have a bet. I'll have to weigh up tomorrow.
Fair enough. So, yeah, you'd be looking for hopefully, well, even the favourite, but hopefully one of them to drift out a little. And
the ones I'd want to, I couldn't see Prime Star or Acrophobic drifting enough for me to want to be on them. But Peltzer maybe, and that would suit me. I'd be happy to be on him at over $3, I think. And yeah, if they want to take a little risk with Eliza Beale, I could back her as well. There's some flukers chances in the race, like Namazu's on the up. But just appears to map badly. Real Peace won with its head on its chest last time in a maiden at, I think it was Hawkesbury, but it just showed something that day that it might have another level in it. Really, look, it has to make significant improvement if it's going to beat the likes of Peltzer, but it's one, if you're looking for something well away from the obvious, it's probably the one I'd lean to. There's a couple of absolute no-hopers in this 7 and 10. Namazu, as I mentioned, probably has the potential to run a race, but maps poorly, and Street Dance has just got that one good run in the gloaming, really, and apart from that, its form doesn't look good enough. So, you've got the obvious 4, 2 perhaps flukers chances, and some no-hopers. That's about the way it sets up.
All right, well, yeah, Namazu with TopSport, $15 at the moment, and Real Peace, the bit of a knockout chance, as you said, at 41 with TopSport. So sounds reasonably interesting. Anyway, have you had a look at much of the card for tomorrow? Is there much action likely?
I think there could be. There's a few I like. There's probably 3 I'm going to be pretty strong on by the look of it. It's not a bad betting program. It lacks the quality of recent weeks, obviously, but I think there's some angles out there tomorrow.
Oh, well, the betting's what we care about, so sounds good. Confident on the footy tomorrow night, mate?
Sorry, what was that?
You confident on the footy tomorrow night?
No, I'm never confident. I was still a bit scarred from the 1990s and 2000 to ever be confident, but Richmond's a pretty strong club these days, that in good hands with Hardwick and Cochin, so hopefully they get it done, but if they don't, I won't be too disappointed. They've had a great run over the last few years, so we'll just see what happens.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for that, Mark. All the best on the punt and with the footy tomorrow, and we'll catch up again next week.
Excellent. I'll talk to you then. Thanks for that.
Cheers.